All right, what's going on, everybody? It's SJG, and the man beside me needs no introduction, but I'm a professional, so I have to do it anyway. SWAC Commissioner Dr. Charles McClelland. Dr. McClelland, welcome to HBCU Gameday.
Thank you for having me, Stephen.
Yeah, definitely, I appreciate it. Here's SWAC Media Day. Another year, another solid media horde here. Just talk about this event and the anticipation that it builds for the season for you guys.
It's tremendous. 252 media outlets here today, our largest media day on record. And it's a testament to our fan base, the interest in the Southwestern Athletic Conference and our football teams, our student athletes, coaches, and administration. And it's a really good kickoff to football. In our eyes and in our office, this is the start of football season. In 2.5 weeks, at least one school will be in camp, and we'll all have something to start talking about again, right? Football. So it's a very important day. I'm pleased that our fans drive the interest to where the media wants to be here, but it's also significant for our student athletes. It's recruiting. So when they go and they look at schools, they go and look at conferences, these are the types of things that they look at. So to know that they're going to be watched, they're going to be written about is a very important aspect of what we try to give to our students.
Yeah, you talk about football as a really great year for you guys. You started the season in Atlanta with the win over the MEAC, and you ended the season with the win over the MEAC. Of course, Jackson State winning the MEAC SWAC, and then FAMU going ahead and winning the Celebration Bowl. Just talk about what that did for you guys as a conference. Obviously, the history of what you guys have done is amazing, and every year you guys are right there at the top of attendance. But we talked about it last year, you guys getting over that hump and getting another win, and it happened. Just talk about what last year was like for the SWAC in football.
Well, winning is always important.
Right.
That's what we're in business to do, amongst other things, i.e. graduating our student athletes. And the MEAC SWAC Challenge is important, and obviously the Celebration Bowl is critically important. To be able to participate and play in a bowl game is unique in itself. But to be able to win that game, I honestly have to say it was my first win. It's a different feeling. I often recall being athletic director, especially when you would play your rival, how that felt. The agony. My kids didn't want to be around me. My wife didn't want to be around me because of my attitude. It was kind of the same way when you lost the Celebration Bowl. So we went back, and we talked to the membership, because it is a very arduous process to get to the Celebration Bowl. Week in, week out, you got to play competitive football. There are no slip-ups. In the last 3 years, you can't slip up. If you do, such as FAMU did against Jackson State, you don't make it. Right. So you do that, then you have to go to the championship game. As you know, anything can happen in the championship game, and then you go to the Celebration Bowl. So there's a lot that a team has to endure: injuries, competitive schedule, travel, and it just feels good to be able to have gone through all of that and come out on the end being victorious.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You talk about the football brand that you guys have. Obviously the deal with ESPN is there, and then you guys added HBCU Go, and it's my understanding the SWAC Digital Network is going to carry everything that's not on either of those networks. Just how big is that, especially when you look at your membership? You got what some would say your big three. You got your big four now that you got FAMU, but some of those other schools, your Pine Bluffs, your Valleys, and stuff like that. How big is that for them to get that type of exposure?
I think it's as significant for Valley as it is for those other schools that you mentioned, because moms, dads, uncles, aunts, siblings want to be able to see their loved one playing on, some form of media. And media has changed. It used to be just linear. Digital is a huge part of it. And we want to make sure that we bring it in a fashion to where it's going to be something that our entities can be proud of. So we didn't want to rush it. We didn't want to do it haphazardly. When you watch SWAC Digital Network, we want it to be the same as if you watch ESPN or HBCU Go. So we had to get the resources to put it into that programming, which means that there's going to be more eyeballs on our games. I won't say the network, but one of our networks last year had over 25 million hours viewed. You multiply that times whatever it's going to be for the other two networks, our guesstimation is you're talking something in the tune of 50 million hours. That's significant of individuals watching Southwestern Athletic Conference football. These are football numbers. So to be able to add those extra 19 games, not only enhances our value as a conference that we can go out to sell to our media partners, it also gives us that additional push for our student athletes to be shown and showcased. So, for example, if the NFL scouts really wanted to take a look at the Southwestern Athletic Conference, now they have a platform to do so. That's just one example, but it's huge for our league to be able to get 100% of our games on some form of our network.
And you talk about TV, obviously, and changes the name of the game. So the college football playoff expands, and then that kind of, treads on what you guys normally do. So there's the adjustment. And obviously for the SWAC, it was already a shorter time span than the MEAC, but now it gets even shorter. Just talk about, just kind of letting everybody know how that was going to happen, and just kind of, the conversations around that, and as far as branding and everything like that.
Well, as you know, FBS and the BCS is a juggernaut in itself, and everybody else kind of has to adjust. Given the bowl schedule, when we had our communication with Disney, it was basically the game is going to be on this day. We're going to have to make the adjustment, and we will make that adjustment. So I said this earlier, I don't like to use the terminology, it is what it is, but I think that's the best way to describe the situation that we're in. From a conference office, we'll see what adjustments we can make. For example, if there's a team that's, in the far west that makes it, we'll look at chartering to try to ease the travel for them. If there's a team that's going to be closer, we'll look at whatever adjustments that could be made. There's not a lot that can be done. Again, it is what it is. Right. It's the week after the SWAC championship game. But we're going to embrace it like we embrace all the other challenges that we have, and we'll rise to the occasion.
And, I know for you, you just got an extension, 8 more years. What does it mean for you that the presidents and chancellors, felt like you were the guy to lead this conference? And that's because we see other commissioners in the conferences, they're not getting 8 years. What does that say about the level of confidence and the relationship that you guys have?
Well, I'm very humbled by their confidence in me to continue to move the Southwestern Athletic Conference in the direction that they set. I'm also extremely appreciative that they did not put the Southwestern Athletic Conference in a box. Just because it had not been done before here doesn't mean that that's not the industry norm. And I'm extremely pleased that the president saw beyond some of that and said, we want to do for our commissioner what some of the other conferences have done for theirs. And what it told me was that they value the job that we're doing, and they want us to continue to do the job that we're doing. Again, the agenda is set by the Council of Presidents and Chancellors and athletic directors. So I'm extremely humble. I've told you this and everyone, this is a dream job. I've heard, especially coming off basketball committee, Charles is going to go somewhere else. I'm committed to the Southwestern Athletic Conference. That message was sent to our corporate partners, our television partners, our fans, our administration. It was sent to everybody that as long as SWAC have me, I want to be here.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And, you talk about the presidents and chancellors, and now we're at a situation where, you're always going to have that cycling, but we've seen some movement in there. When you have a new president that comes along, it seems like you guys have, how does that work as far as ingratiating them there, and how does that council work together? How are you feeling about that?
Well, the first thing we do is have a presidential orientation. So I'll personally go. We have a manual that we put together, i.e. a cheat sheet or a cheat book on how the conference runs. We talk APR, we talk distribution, we talk television, we talk all of the key important. We talk membership, we talk organizational structure, we talk hierarchy, we talk governance, and we kind of give them a cheat sheet that they can refer back to. And then we try to continue to enhance that relationship by staying in communications. The one thing that I saw when I came was that there was somewhat of a fear of the conference office. Oh, Charles calling, what did we do wrong? And what we try to do is reverse that and say, when Charles called, what opportunities will he be bringing to the membership? So any new president or chancellor, we try to make a concerted effort of bringing them in. We have an executive council of presidents that they work to do it as well. President Ross at Alabama State is the chair. He will reach out personally. We exchange numbers. We do the email exchanges. We meet twice in person. So we try to make the new presidents and chancellors feel a part of the group, but also get them caught up to speed as quickly as we can, because it is an ever-changing industry. So you could be in the room and still not know the changes. So there are a lot of educational things. For example, the big topic this year was house and how house was going to be settled. How much was the SWAC going to have to pay? What, adjustments were we going to have to make? So whether you were a new president or not, those were new conversations and education that we had to do to all presidents.
Okay, awesome. And I know we're here at Football Day, but do want to ask you a couple basketball. You guys are moving the basketball tournament to Atlanta. Just talk about that change and what you hope that that'll bring for the SWAC.
Again, another opportunity for us to listen to our fan base and try to deliver on what our fan base wanted. And we heard very clearly they wanted a bigger experience when it came to basketball. So as we looked around the Gateway Center in Atlanta, and we teamed up with the Atlanta Fulton County Recreation Authority, provided us with that opportunity. So there are 6 hotels in that area. We have all 6. We're going to put a stage out there. There's going to be concerts. There's going to be career fairs. There's going to be artists coming to the games. We're going to make it a full experience. And the Gateway Center is where the Atlanta Dream plays. Their G League team plays there. So it's a perfect arena. It's a perfect size. Atlanta is the perfect city. And with the help of the Atlanta Fulton County Recreation Authority and the investment that we're making, we're looking to enhance that tournament. It's not going to be an overnight deal, but we've heard our constituencies, and we're now working towards that goal to make our basketball tournament as popular as our football championship.
And then lastly, obviously your work with the NCAA basketball being over that is well documented. But you guys, got another year of wins in the NCAA tournament.
Yes.
Grambling State, first time they're getting a win. Obviously, Texas Southern has won the first 4 games. What's it mean to see your basketball teams come out and flourish and really compete out there?
Well, to me, it's significant, and I know for the schools now it's significant because we're actually sharing the unit with them. So there's a financial windfall, and starting next year, we're actually going to take some of that basketball money and share it with the women's basketball champions. So we do that now, but we're going to make both of those equal. So we're actually a little ahead of what the NCAA is doing, is sharing our men's basketball money with our women's basketball champion, and we think that is absolutely the right thing to do. But I've always said, playing on that first 4 Tuesday or Wednesday, where you're the only game being shown, national exposure is tremendous for the institution. I would much rather, as athletics director, because I've done both as an athletic director, go to the first 4, be the only game on, get an opportunity to win, get that unit for 6 years, and then have the opportunity to go into the tournament and compete at the highest level versus going immediately and playing Purdue. You look at what Grambling did. They were able to kind of get the jitters out. They played Purdue probably as well as anybody played them outside of UConn in the championship game, Their strategy on Zach Edey was copied by other teams. That's critically important, and the nation got an opportunity to see it. Student athlete got a name, image, and likeness deal for sending the game to overtime. He wouldn't have had that opportunity had he just been one of 8 games being shown, in that time slot. So it's important. And the last thing that I would say about that, our goal is not to play in the first 4, but we have a lot to get to before we are a 14th seed or a 13th seed, and the conference membership is starting to rally behind that. Scheduling has a lot to do with it, and they are doing the things that it takes in order for our league to continue to get strong. Again, none of these are overnight fixes, but I can honestly say our league is moving forward in a positive way, and us to be able to foresee at some point in the future not playing in the first 4 and getting one of those 12 or 13 seed.
Awesome. Well, look, I know he's got a lot of places to go. A lot of people want to talk to him. So I definitely appreciate you, Dr. McClelland, for taking the time and talking about some of this stuff. I'm sure we'll see you again soon. But I appreciate you for all the work you've done. Congratulations on the extension for you guys. And it's once again, it's great to be here for the SWAC Media Day.
Thank you for being here, Stephen.
Appreciate it.
All right.